it's Dustin with TechMD here. I'm at another house to fix a phone that you guys have never even seen. So this is a Xiaomi Black Shark, right? Yeah, so, and here's the camera equipment that we're going to be recording on. We're here in Mill Creek, Utah, which is really close to Salt Lake City, Utah. If you guys need to send in your phone to get it fixed, I'll be glad to do that. This is what the part looks like. He actually had to order this on eBay, as this is a Chinese phone, not very common. But if you don't know how to fix this and you don't care to watch the video, you can go ahead and call the number below and we'll be glad to do that. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll have parts below in the link, so you'll have to look on Amazon or eBay. But for all the tools and stuff is all in the link below in the Injured Gadgets website there for you. So anyways, look forward to doing this repair, and thanks for watching, guys. It's Dustin with TechMD. A little quick commercial break. We got a product called Liquid Glass that can cover your phone against $400 in damages or even $150 in damages. And it's super cheap and it's good for a whole year with no deductible. I'm going to have a link in the description below describing the whole product and how the whole process works in a separate video. Thanks for watching. Now back to the video. Okay, anyways, guys, so here is his part for this Xiaomi Black Shark. Right? I'm saying it right? Okay. So very unusual. So if we're looking at the part here, looks like, what the heck? That's weird. There is this little metal bracket over the home button. I have no clue. I guess it's to protect against something going through the plastic. I don't know why they would do that. Okay, so we're gonna just take our iFlex tool here and remove whatever piece this is. I have no clue why they would do that for the home button. Is there? Yeah, there's a home button on here.
Yeah, it's also like the fingerprint.
Maybe to, yeah, that doesn't make any sense why they would do that. Okay, so we're going to remove that piece. Now, if we analyze this phone here, the connector is going to be plugging in like this, and the screen going down. So we obviously know that, or we could assume, not always, but we could assume that we're going to have to take this phone screen off from the front side. So we're going to make sure the phone is turned off. Looks like he's already turned it off, which is good. Okay, and I just clicked it once and it turned on. Holy crap. Oh, we'll turn it off here in 1 second. Pretty cool looking intro. This phone is a really solid feeling phone. It reminds me of an HTC M9, M8 series. Okay, now that we got that off, doesn't look like there's any components or anything like that we have to worry about over here. So the only thing it looks like we have to worry about is home button, and then we can cut that cable off, who cares. So the first thing we need to do is my heat gun. So we're just going to take a heat gun that you can purchase in the parts below, the link below, excuse me. And you can use a hot plate if you're a professional as well. I recommend 100 degrees Celsius for most phones. I'm using a heat gun and the temperature setting is on high. I'm just going to put my heat resistant gloves on. And what we're aiming to do here is to get this hot to the touch. So a little bit past warm to the touch, to hot to the touch. We're trying to aim to get it to about 100 degrees Celsius.
People say you can do it with a hair dryer.
Yeah, but it would take forever to warm up with a hair dryer. You could use a hair dryer, but it might not get hot enough. This is designed to warm up quickly, not expose it to long-term heat. Hair dryer could take like 10 minutes to warm up. Enough. If you're looking to get this mat as well, parts and everything that you're looking at today should be in the link below. If you have trouble finding it, just let me know with a comment or give us a call. Now, remember, we don't have this part in stock, nor do we plan on getting this part in stock. Okay, so we're just going to get in between that green plastic metal looking frame. with our iFlex tool here. Nice and thin tool. Anything that is really thin will work as well. And this is going to be one of those great phones that just pull apart and chip away. Okay, so we don't want to lose this glass piece here. That's really important. Looks like there's a sensor right here. It was attached to the glass, and I have no clue what it does. Kind of similar to the sensor on the Google Pixel. Unsure, guys, unsure. But it looks like it was not clipped, which is always a good thing. Just looks like it ends right there. Come on. So I'm using my finger to get in there precisely because it is giving me a little bit of difficulty. And I accidentally turned it on again. Very sensitive phone to turn on. We'll try to turn it off again. See, well, this is why glass repair is not impossible. Screens are so easy to burn nowadays. And look at that, the LCD is just bleeding right away. And I'm being like super careful. So this is normal for it to separate. This is a backlit screen, so they can separate like that. So it's not a big deal, guys. Just pull it up. Okay, so we're going to warm it up a little bit more because it's taken me quite a bit of time to separate this. And plus we have a home button to deal with, so I can't just go slicing through it. I want to be careful with this, because I don't know the cable arrangement of how the finger, well, I'm assuming it's a fingerprint sensor reader, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a home button actually.
I mean, it will do both.
Oh, it does do both? Mm-hmm. Oh, weird. Looks just like a fingerprint sensor reader. Okay. So we're going to carefully lift this up here and move away. Okay, good. The home button is attached to the screen. That's wonderful. So now we're going to take a metal tool, or like the iseasmo tool is another option here, and just dig up the rest. So either one of these. I like this tool. It works just fine. And the reason why I want to do it now before disconnecting the unit is because it's hot. So it's going to be a lot easier to remove. Since this screen is glued on, guys, battery replacement for this particular phone, you will need to replace the screen because there's a very high chance of breaking the screen when removing this the way it's glued down. It's not actually adhesive down. It's all just glue. So we're just going around the sides here, and careful not to puncture that battery. That's really important not to do that, because if you do that, guess what? Explosion. This piece is still coming up a little bit. That is just weird. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. I think it's an antenna, thinking about it. It's an unusual spot to put an antenna. But maybe this full metal housing is just that way. Okay, so you're going to just take your Phillips screwdriver and 00 and unscrew these two screws. I just use an electronic one or an iThor screwdriver, depending on how I feel for that day. For speed of the video, I like to use my electronic one. Okay. Pretty straightforward stuff so far. Now we can go ahead and test the new screen with the home button attached. So, or well, we can't test the new screen until I do that actually. I think that phone just turned on again. I heard something vibrate. Okay. So let's get some tweezers out. What we're doing is trying to remove the plastic off of this home button connector, or tape actually. Just trying to get under it without damaging it. Gotta be very careful with this because it's a very delicate connector, and the pieces, the cable is even more delicate. This is ridiculous. The tape does not want to come up. Okay, we're just going to disconnect it, lift it up, and move it out of there. Just getting underneath that home button connector. Need something thinner. If you're struggling to get this up, you could blast it with a little bit of heat. Careful not to slice this cable. You've got to be uber careful, or that fingerprint sensor reader is not going to be found, probably on eBay or anywhere else. With more grasp. Just going to try to pull it out. There we go. Looks like that tape is wanting to sit on there really good. So if that's the case, then you just have to lift up this little latch right here and pull out like I did. Okay, so now we want to get this whole home button out of here, and I'm not sure how to do that carefully, so I'm just going to rip the glass out of it. Let's make life easy, right? So this metal bracket has to be in there. This is very unique. I've never seen this before in any phone. Yeah. Let's remove the metal bracket that is really glued on. This is, maybe, you know, I don't need it. I don't know. Let's try it this way. Trying to figure out the best way to tackle this, guys. So I just broke the glass off. If you're having trouble breaking glass off, you can just use something like this just to break the glass. But mine came off pretty clean actually. Wow, that was nasty. I have no clue why they would do that. I don't think you can separate these two. This looks heavily glued in. And if you get to this point and you're stuck, you can always send it in to us. I'm not sure the best way to get the glass off without just, you know, taking your iseasmo tool or your metal tool and scraping it off. Now the question is, how in the heck do I get that in there? So let's try to slide it under. Oh, wait. How is this connected? Connected this way, and then it rotates around. Okay. So we're going to go this direction to slide it in. I'm just pushing in. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Why would they design it like this? Wow. Okay, so we're gonna try to push a little bit more pressure right here. I do not like putting things underneath the display. That makes me concerned. Because if you slip up and break this display, you're screwed. Okay. I don't like how this is going. I'm going to give this a last ditch effort to see if I can. I mean, this looks really glued on. I'm gonna warm this up and see if I can push that home button through. Still really hot doing this. Ah! That's on there really good. One thing I'm worried about is damaging that flex cable. I don't have any captain's tape to cover it. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. Okay. Okay, here we go. Holy crap. Now what made me think that that could go through first is because they gave me one of these. But I don't know about that. We'll find out. Hopefully we did not damage it. Okay. Onward and upward here. Let's get the fingerprint reader in here. And guys, I have 18 years of experience. I've never seen anything exactly like this. So you need to be experienced tech to be working on this. I do not recommend this as an at-home project. Okay. Well, it doesn't want to exactly line up in there. It just wants to be loosey-goosey here. And that's because of how this is. So, I wonder, since it's loosey-goosey, I wonder if we could do this. Yes, we can. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this in first. And I hope I have the right orientation. Pretty sure it was this way. Oh, okay. So that's why they had it like that. That's why there was that piece there. Maybe. Now I have to fight with this one. Trying to keep this on camera, guys, as much as possible. I'm having the exact same struggle as before, so let's just use theirs. Let's see what happens. never had to mess with the screen so much like this. This is ridiculous. Okay, orientation needs to be this way. Yes, this way. Don't want to connect that connector in quite yet, just because we want to make sure this is going to sit down. Does it work as a physical button?
It doesn't click or anything, but it does activate. It's the same as pressing home. And it is the fingerprint reader also.
Okay. So it's like an iPhone 7 home button. The guys at Xiaomi is probably laughing at me. Like, haha, that American can't do it. Nah, I'll do it. Okay, well, I'm not loving this. So it's not, what comes with the screen is not exactly what you want, because it doesn't actually have that loop around there like this one does. This metal loop that was really glued on as well, and this little bracket here. So you need this whole bracket off, and maybe I can put it through first, I'm hoping. Okay, let's do this. Let's actually move that out of the way. Let's see if this is separatable or not. Oh, it is! Yay! This is such a joke. Oh, man. Never in my life. So, I guess I have to put this down first and then take out the home button again. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I don't click it in. Okay. Will it fit this way first? Yay or nay? It does fit this way. Okay. The home button goes that way. Right. Okay. Feel that. Does that feel like your home button? Does that feel like the correct height and all that?
I mean, it seems high.
It seems a little high?
Yeah.
Well, the other way to do it is the other way in reverse. So it's supposed to be flush with the screen, not a little high.
It was below it, actually.
It was below it, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's go
Like
to...
it kind of sunk in there.
Okay, let's go the other route. Because we want it to be working properly. Where did the piece go to? Is it attached to this still?
Maybe. I thought I saw it shoot. But maybe.
Yeah, it is. Still attached to the home button. So if that's attached to the home button like that, maybe what we could do is just do this first, this direction, right? Then put that metal bracket on. Let's put this in first and rotate this around. Okay, okay. Still wants to come out a little bit, but there we go. It got that sunken in look like you said.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is like playing Tetris here.
Yeah. I wouldn't have never knew this.
Well, this is why I charge so much. You never know how difficult a phone could be. Sometimes I get phones done in 5 to 10 minutes, and other times I get them done in 24 minutes so far, and we haven't even put the screen on. Still messing with this stupid bracket. I don't understand why. Won't go in. Come on, run it. Don't go back out. Oh my gosh, this is like such. This is testing my patience today. My patients don't get tested very often, that's for sure. Okay, now come on over. Come on. Ah! Okay, you know what? We're gonna do something else. And of course I have to unclip this again. Well, we know which way the home button has to go. It's this way here. Okay. Something high. But I need tweezers, so let's do. Because of this cable, we have to do this. Just trying to mount it above. I want the correct orientation. Okay. Now we're going to put some of our black glue on that I just got, which is T7000. And I bumped my camera. Whew. Definitely need to zoom in onto this part. You can get all kinds of different glues out there. The B7000 will work just fine as well, or super glue if you're doing this at home and you're crazy enough to do this at home. Need my tweezers. Ah! Glue keeps on coming out. Come on, come on, come on. Trying to figure out how to do this without my tweezers here. Guess I'm just gonna get glue on my hands. Holy crap. Good thing there's a piece of tape over that fingerprint sensor reader. Can you hand me a paper towel, please? I'm just putting some pressure down on it so that way it stays, hopefully. Just removing any excess. Let's remove some excess off the home button itself. So when we wanted to separate it from that bracket, we did not want that piece to stay on the bracket. And so I would recommend when separating it from it, just to get a thin tool and get underneath that bracket, and hopefully the button stays as one. Because since it didn't stay as one, it made our life very difficult here. So that's the goal, is to keep it as one. And then it has to go in this way. Or excuse me, it has to go in through this way instead of through the actual screen. So that's also another important thing that you gotta focus on. Oh jeez. This phone is testing every patience. Remember, you got to be really careful not to hit that. I'm going to call this the second nightmare phone. HTC M7, M8, M9, they're all just nightmares. And then Google Pixel 3 and then 3XL.
Oh, really? Those are pretty bad.
Take me an hour to do those phones. Okay, so either way it goes, it looks like it just wants to go through. We'll just see what happens. What the heck? Ah! Oh my goodness. I cannot believe I'm still messing with this home button. That is bonkers to me. So I can get it in perfectly like this, but I can't get it in the other direction. So it sits up a little bit instead of sunken in.
I mean, if it works.
Let me try one more time to get it the other direction. This is stupid. I want it to be right, but it doesn't seem to want to slip under the screen, no matter how much I try, even removing that bracket and all that stuff. I just don't understand why not, though. It's designed that way. You go that way, it works just fine, but if you want to try to go this way, it does not want to work just fine. Yeah. Just for the sake of maybe possibly breaking your screen, I just don't want to force it anymore.
No, that's fine. I mean, as long as it works, I don't care. It's not
Okay.
bad.
It's not exactly correct, but it's not going to be exactly going to affect the phone in any way, I don't think. Okay, anyway, we still got to weave this little piece of thing through this whole shebang. And if I can get it off the plate here. Okay, this way. Oh, look, it has little alignment arrows. How nice of them. Like, hey, we know this is going to be difficult, so have fun. That wasn't supposed to disconnect. It's supposed to hold it in there good. Oh, that's the home point of the tape. No, it can't go in that way. It pops out of the screen. Unless I glue it down. Oh yeah, it was glued down. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yep, because it doesn't move. It wasn't designed to move. I don't like to glue things down that I've never glued down before, but in this case, it's getting glued down. And then we're going to glue down that metal bracket there. I think we wasted like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes on this home button.
Wow. Well, I mean, if I tried to do it myself, I probably would have had it tomorrow night. So.
Or broke the home button or screen. I'm hoping we didn't break the screen. I didn't even test the screen yet. That's probably a thing that you guys should do, is test the screen before doing this. I thought this would be like a simple little thing, but I got definitely stuck on the idea of getting this fixed. And that is not grabbing onto it for whatever reason. Let's get a thicker coat. The guys who made the T7000, you're terrible. The glue just keeps on coming out and coming out. It's really annoying. Too much pressure under there. Okay, now the home button finally wants to sit in there. And the bracket seems to be not needing any glue at all. Okay, we're good. Now let's hopefully the home button still works and then life will be nice. I would normally say gluing the screen on is the difficult part, but nah, definitely a home button. Okay, I think the phone was already on because I heard it vibrate, so we might have to press a couple buttons to get it resetted. Yep, it's on.
So does it take a reboot before it'll recognize a new screen?
Yeah, most of the time. Ah, you stupid button. Are you kidding me? With all that glue and you're still not holding down? Unbelievable. You put your password in. Where's your
What are you looking for?
app drawer?
Oh, if you just press the home button again.
Oh. I think I'm pressing other keys because of my home button being pressed.
Could be.
It's really irritating right now.
What are you looking for?
I'm just touching the screen.
Oh.
You don't have a fingerprint sensor reader on it at all?
What was that?
You didn't set up the fingerprint sensor?
No, I did.
Oh, it just booted up here with
With the password though.
Disconnect.
So if you press the home button, it takes you back home. So for instance, like,
Hold on, let me make sure the connection's on there.
okay, so like,
You might have to reboot it. It probably disconnected. Yeah. It disconnected. Let me screw this down. Yeah, if it gets slightly disconnected while I'm working on it, it can damage it.
and then it won't.
Touch or display sometimes. Let's hope. After all this mess. Some phones are that way. They're really picky about getting disconnected while they're on. Okay. Do anything that way. I won't. Take a picture. Oh, I was not expecting this long. See?
Okay.
Put your very carefully put your password in outside of that, and then check that home button. Oh, it came out again. Never mind. Just make sure it works though.
Okay.
Still, I can really glue it down here. No?
I mean, normally pushing it does the same thing as pushing the home button there.
Did it just work?
No, I don't think so because, well, that works because you can hide these so that this is the app button and this is the back button and then this works as the home button.
Yeah, but it's kind of popping out. Let me check out.
So it should like open the drawer from the page there.
Wasn't it doing that though earlier?
I don't know. It could have been.
Doesn't look disconnected. But I'll reconnect it. your screen stopped working again. Just because I did this. It does not like me. My goodness, phone. You are really picky. I don't think the home button was damaged. So this connector could be potentially bad. But if the screen keeps on freezing, that could be a different issue altogether. What I'm saying is that this new screen with the connector there could be the screen causing touch issues. Could be either bad screen or bad home button. I'm not exactly sure. But it was working and it stops working, so it's very irritating here. I swear that home button was working, but it could have been touching the screen. So this video is very detailed because you might be encountering problems the same as us. Okay. Your password. You always have to put your password in first, usually on Android security.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so we have no fingerprint action whatsoever. Let's see if this touchscreen keeps on working. Do you have a video game you said you like playing?
A number of them, yeah.
Any of them that could be quick? PUBG. No?
Is there
Wow. You got Quake on here?
Yeah.
N64, that's epic. There's Half-Life on here? Why is it going? Oh. That is epic. I didn't know you could play Quake on...
And the gyro makes it so you can actually, like, play it.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, touch seems to be working for now. Let's turn off the screen and turn it back on. No home button action. Not sure how I could have done that differently with the home button. I don't see any rips or tears in the cable, but separating it might have not liked it. But then again, I couldn't even get it in the unit. So I don't think we would have been able to salvage this home button if we wanted to. Meaning if I redid it, I still don't know how I would fix the problem.
Yeah.
Because it clearly doesn't want to fit in there. And it could be the Chinese screen could be slightly off. But you've seen me break it out of there. So it's possible that they put the home button in first with the glass, and then they fuse and bond the display, and then they connect the cable. Mm-hmm. So we got two options that we can try to order another home button, but then you'd have to leave the screen unglued, mm-hmm. or we can glue it down and just use a digital home button. So the other option is, like I said, to order another fingerprint home button reader if we can. Find one.
Do you think we can get it with just without the...
The problem is, even if we did order it, is how in the heck am I going to get that home button in that screen? I had to do it in reverse, remember? I couldn't get it in the screen without risking breaking the screen. Some phones I feel like they're not repairable. This might be one of those phones that I conclude that is not repairable. Oh yeah, that's the aftermarket stuff.
Yeah.
So, see this right here? This piece right here? This is very tender, so too much pressure right here, that's where the home button shoves in. Mm-hmm. It will just break the LCD, and then we would have no phone. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was trying to prevent by separating the home button. But I think by separating the home button, because I used so much heat to separate it, mm-hmm. it probably destroyed it. We got to remove this ear speaker piece here. So since there's no manufacturer for the Xiaomi here in America, it's kind of hard for him to mail it in to, get a replacement screen. But I feel like the replacement screens should come with home buttons already attached to them, as it's quite difficult to even try to get that home button in there correctly. And the potential of breaking the screen is too high. So we have to conclude that he's not going to have a home button because there's not much for options. Even if we ordered, let's say, a new home button, we're still not being able to get the actual home button back into the display. I had to literally break it out of the display to get it in there, or to get it out of the old one. So I'm going to conclude that it's a non-removable home button. Yeah, well, at least the touch continued working. That was nice. It could have been a bit worse and touch been bad. The other option that, like I said, is not like too far to conclude that the actual connector itself is defective.
Yeah.
And that is possible, but I can't conclude that because I don't have a second screen.
Yeah.
So I could have maybe even not even potentially broken it. But at this point, it's like, well, we could order another screen and I can try another one and break this one off. But how much did you pay for the screen? So you could risk $40 and I'd be glad to come back out there and try another one. But it's still a potential that the heat trying to separate that home button ruined it as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sucks. Either way, it sucks. This is what we call a bad scenario. And that's unfortunately when working on new devices. So, the next one that I work on, I'm going to have to tell the person that the fingerprint sensor might possibly stop working from my one experience. But I doubt I'll even get another one of these. Let's use that T7000 is pretty messy, so we're going to use a little of B7000 to glue the ear speaker on. Just because we want just enough on there, just a little bit. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just spread it out a little bit because we got too much on there. Okay, now that we spread it out, we'll clean that off in a second. Let's put our ear speaker back on. Looks like this one's reversible. It could go either direction. You probably want to do this first before attaching the screen, but I already did. So I might just, we'll see here. Obviously you don't want to get any glue in the ear speaker at all. And we didn't. Okay. Now we got to glue the entire unit down. So the reason why I switched to T700 is because it doesn't leave the white residue that super glue or B7000 leaves behind. But you can use Gorilla Glue or super glue. Gorilla Glue would be more time consuming and you'd have to wait for it to dry. This takes about 3 minutes to dry. You don't want too much on there. You don't want it getting in the screen. So I'm kind of scraping it away a little bit here. Obviously you don't want any more glass shards left over on this. That's really important. I would actually recommend, since this glue does dry fast, to have this already ready to go to seal. So I'm going to just wipe off any excess residue before it gets too hard. You make sure that this is fully functioning before sealing this, because once it's sealed, it's breaking off. Hey, look, this phone took as long as, almost as long as the other phone did. The Pixel 3 XL took an hour. Okay. Anyway, guys, so conclusion, would not recommend fixing this phone at all. If you can send it in the manufacturer, that would be more ideal. If you can't, then know that the home button is very difficult to put back in there. And you'll have to probably follow my steps just to get that home button separated. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you guys have any helpful hints, that would be great. Throw it in the comments below. Have a good one.